Welcome to the second session. We're going to look at deal settings. This is where you set your products up and you set up your alerts and the times they're going to run. Hopefully, you've watched introduction session one. So let's move into deal settings. In deal settings, you have two types of alert: a best price alert and a resale alert. The difference between the two: best price alert, you're just looking for a product at a certain price or lower than a certain price. Pretty much all it does. So then it will find you and alert you as those items are located. Resell alert is where you want to resell the product. So you're not necessarily looking for a specific price. You're looking for an item you can buy and resell for profit. Now, if you're looking for something to repair, a device to repair, you can then get this alert set up and you can enter the costs of reselling, and then it will find you items that you can buy, fix, resell for a profit. You'll see that in a moment. So we'll just go for these two alerts. So you set up the alert. You set up a product name. That's just the product name that you want to set up. So PS5 console, for example. Over here, this is the searches it's going to do. I mean, something like PS5 is PlayStation 5 or it's PS5. It's got two naming conventions. So you can set up here a couple of base searches. So we'll do it for PS5 console. And then we'll put a comma and we'll say PlayStation 5 console. Now this is the search that will be done on eBay. And if you've been on eBay before, you'll notice it brings up a load of stuff, even if it's probably not a console and stuff like that. So we just want to do what we can. What I'd suggest is use the categories, and then it will give you the suggested category. So you can pick from the suggested category. You can browse all and select your own. So I'm just going to say consoles. Otherwise, you're going to get controllers. You're going to get stuff like that. Even though you type PS5 console, eBay would still have those in that search. So use the categories where possible. You don't have to, and it'll look everywhere. Max price. So what's the max price you want to pay? So I'm going to say I want to pay 200. Minimum price. Just put a minimum price because it does sometimes help. So you may have controllers put into the console session. You really don't want to see controllers. You can set a minimum. I'm going to set 50, even though I don't think there will be anything at 50. Must include any. So in here, you just put something in here to make sure it must include it. So if you wanted the disc version, you could put disc. Then it'll look and say, right, PS5 console disc. If it doesn't find disc, it will not show you it. Of course, in the UK, we might call it disc. But just give that a little go. Personally, I'm not going to put it in for a little test here. Exclude words. You may not want faulty. You may not want broken. You may not want something else. So again, there are optional words. And if it finds any of the exclude words, it wouldn't find it. Just to point out, there's no point in putting this search term in a must include because it is going to find PS5. It just might find you some other stuff. So you need to think about the wordings that you want to put in to get the accurate search, or set these up, watch as it does it, and then, tweak it around to make it optimal. Scan time, you'll have a scan time that you can run the auto scanner. So I'll put it at an hour. Do you want buy it nows and auctions? Or do you want auctions or do you want buy it nows? I mean, this tool is not really to scalp. It's not going to give you a 10-second last alert for an auction, but it will give you auctions within the hour. I'm going to personally put an hour because I know that the price changes so much in the last hour. What is the point in showing it 24 hours ago? So I'm going to show auctions at 1 hour, and I'm going to show bins and auctions. So I'm going to see stuff that's on auction. I'm going to see stuff that's ending in the next hour, and I'm going to see bins. And then you can filter on conditions here. I'm going to leave that excluded. I don't really care about that at this point. You click the alert. The alert is now available, and it's activated based on that setting. It'll run every hour. You can deactivate it by hitting the button just to send it to pause. If you start getting alerts or you're no longer looking for it, but you want to keep it here, do that. And that's Best Buy Alert. That will now run. Resale Alert. A little bit different to the other one. So we'll do PS5 again. PS5 console. And then I'll say PS5 console. And PlayStation 5. Console. I put console because eBay narrows it down to a console rather than a controller. It's not 100% cert it won't find a controller, but it's close. And then in here, you can must include, as I said earlier, if you're looking for disk or digital or something completely different, and you can exclude here minimum buy. I'm going to set this very similar to the last one that you just seen. Default sell price. Remember, this is a resale item, so we're not looking at how much you want to pay. We're going to calculate the profit you're going to make. So we need to know how much you're going to sell it at. If you have you'll probably have a good indicator anyway. But if you don't, you can try out this beta tool that I'm currently monitoring. So we'll enhance it a little bit over time. It's very hard to know exactly how much an item will sell for on eBay. eBay do not allow that sold information anymore. So we've got a calculation in the background. So we'll click this just to see what it says. So it's saying around about the 200 mark. I think that's probably accurate. If you went to eBay and looked and said a PlayStation that is probably working, maybe it's just a console on its own with no controllers, etc. It might be around about that price. I think PlayStation are about 240 to be honest. But let's just say you can click and it'll put that price in, or of course you can enter your own price. Here's the fees of the resale really. So you're going to have 12% resale fee. That's not buying fee, that's a resale. How much does it cost to ship? There's a few default setting here to change that. How much packaging? Then you create the alert. Now that's not it. Now you've got a base product set up. Now you have to say, I'm looking for it, but actually I'm looking for specific things like it's broken screen, no power, right? Or different variants of it. So what you do is you just click the add setting under it. Now it's a little bit different. Now I'm going to say PS5 no power. And the fault, in fact, I don't want to do PS5 no power. That's just a bit too specific. I'm just going to say faulty PS5. And in here I'm going to say faulty PS5. Just a generic term. You can change the price that you think it will be worth at the end if you really want, but it'll, as you can see that there, it'll use the price you had on the last screen. Parts, I don't really know, but if there's no power, then it would be maybe 20, maybe £20 for a new power pack PSU. You don't know, of course. I've done repairs and failed miserably. You don't really know how much they're going to cost, but at least you can put some estimates in. Other costs, you might want to put like an hourly wage or something. How much money you're looking to make from the item when you resell it. I mean, it's probably not worth buying and reselling if you're only making a £10, but I'll leave it at that anyway, so we can see some results in the further tutorials. Exclude words. Water. I mean, nobody wants a water damaged console or device. Not the best devices for repair. So you can exclude certain things. You can exclude maybe the disc, the digital version, things like that. Again, if it finds a word, it will exclude it. Set up the timing of this alert, as I did to the same one earlier. Create the alert. Now we've got PlayStation 5 faulty generic profile. It will find anything really that is faulty. One thing I didn't do whilst I was in there, I didn't set a condition. If you're looking for something faulty, let's be honest, 99% of the time, it should be in for parts are not working. You might be worth turning that on because then you're not looking at new items and you're not looking at used items that someone's, I don't know, maybe the controller's broke, but they're giving you the console anyway. So, and that alert will run. That's exactly how you set them up. And then you just edit them, you can pause them, and you can see them in here. And that's exactly how you use it. That was intro 2. I look forward to doing intro 3 soon.